Behind the scenes with Mr. Crutcher, Mr. Night Show, I'm sorry. And of course we have the lovely Moto Babe, Miss Hunter Garcia. Crutcher, we've seen the bikes. We've never seen them look this good. I don't know, something about the setups looking pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can you give us a cool walk around, especially Hunter, for someone who's like her, who wants to know the ins and outs of the cool KTM? Like,
sure,
walk us through
absolutely. So let me start with this. Have you ever worked on a KTM before?
Never on a KTM, but they are definitely different.
You're a Yamaha girl?
Yes.
Okay, so what's funny, there are two motorcycles that are like the most opposite of each other, and it's KTM and Yamaha.
Really?
They could not be more different from each other. So this is going to be a pretty stark difference.
Well, I'm ready to learn, because maybe my next bike will be a KTM and I can learn from that.
So Dave, if you'll put your phone away.
I'm trying to double up, dude.
All right, so we do need to start. We're going to start at the front of the bike and then work our way backwards. Okay, so from the front of the bike, now this is something that's new for this here, is the leader lights.
Okay.
And
oh yeah, I love those.
Nobody really knows what happened or what goes on here, how it works. There's actually a transponder back here that is powered by live time, which is a new system, and then each motorcycle, everybody that enters gets the new leader lights.
That is amazing.
And then AMA in the scoring booth, it's totally automated, so there is no it's not a manual push, right? So that's something that's kind of new for this year. All right, so we're gonna do the full thing here. Okay, starting from the top, comfort is provided by ODI. There is no better handlebar and grip company on the market than ODI.
Agreed.
Then we have further comfort provided by Billet Racing Products, or BRP. And now this is a 4-post mount here on the top triple clamp. So we have 4 rubber bushings here that contain the top part of the triple clamp, the bar clamp. We run the stock bottom clamp, but then we have JH2 Race Tech suspension. So inside of here we have the gold valve, which is the best thing that you can buy for suspension. I'll get you dialed in with some gold valves.
Yes.
Okay, then we run the stock OEM. The Brembo brake caliper itself is stock, but we do run a Pro X front rotor and rear rotor. But now check this out. On the rotor here. So now on the stock rotor, there is no connection point between here. It's a flare. Now on the Pro X, the reason we run this is because it's a sturdier unit that prevents, because Supercross is kind of a contact sport.
Yeah.
Arena cross really is. Whenever we're making block passes on other guys, there's a lot of times where we're making contact with the rotor. So the more bracing there is, the better off it is. Our motorcycles come equipped with Takasago XL A60 rims. Now this is the best rim that you can get. It is the top of the top. Our shit is professionally laced by W, and we have Han hubs with this badass magnesium coating, which is it's kind of Supercross spec.
It's amazing.
Then the rubber meets the track with the Hoosier. This is the IMX 25 front tire, and then we run the IMX 25 rear.
Nice.
So the thing about the Hoosier is it is a spec tire that you can buy at the dealership.
Yeah.
There is no other tire manufacturer that sells a spec tire that you can buy. Dunlop, Pirelli, everybody, they have factory level tires that you can't get. Hoosier brings factory spec to the consumer. All right, so moving backward now, our fuel delivery system is powered by a 405 tuned GET ECU. That's what's under here. It's the green box 405 mods out of Oklahoma City. That's 405. They're the ones that tune our ECUs, and they match it to the ETS MX-18. Now, much like Jimmy John's, we do free smells.
I definitely want to smell
Please,
this, yes.
be my guest.
Ooh, that is clean. That is nice. Very fresh. I love that.
Yeah.
So tell me about that one.
Okay, so the ETS MX-18 was actually developed for KTM by ETS in 2018. They've since come out with a new fuel called the ETS MX-21. KTM spec that one also. It's a slightly different fuel, but the MX-18, it's perfect for what we're looking for, but it's not a fuel that you want to run on your motorcycle without having a retuned ECU.
Okay.
They do have an offering called the Extra Blaze 100. It's a high quality 100 octane fuel. Now for you would run, it's not Extra Blaze 100, they have an Extra Blaze blend for a 2-stroke like you have on your YZ125.
Okay.
Our intake system. Now, Dave, I'm going to have you come around here and I'm going to show you what we do inside of here. Okay, so we run Pro X air filters with Bel-Ray air filter oil, and inside of here we have the 2-stroke air cage. You notice how there's no backfire screen like on all 4 strokes on the inside of our bikes. And then also, Dave, this right here is called the intake snorkel. So this is very different than what you get on the OEM model that comes from the floor. It's we run a different, this is like the SX spec intake. Really helps with a lot of bottom and mid range, which Arena Cross and Supercross is so much. So that's our intake system. And then the exhaust system. Dave, we'll have you come around this side over here. Okay, so this is the Creo Racing development exhaust system, the NS4. Now it may look like it's been beat up by guys. Dude, we got the new exhaust systems from Dubach, and they put them on the race bikes, and both of them immediately crashed and scuffed them.
That's what you do on a race bike. Come on, you gotta
that's
stick
right,
them up a
exactly.
little bit, you know?
So, okay, now what I'm gonna have you do in the most not sexual way ever is I'm gonna have you stick your finger inside of there and tell me if you feel anything.
That's sexual. That's very sexual.
Well, that's why I said most
But I'm
not
gonna do it
sexual.
anyways.
Just as deep as you can go.
It's warm.
It's warm. Do you notice that ledge
Yeah, I see it.
inside of there? Okay, so this is a Supercross spec. Nice.
Don't smell it.
You know, lick. This is a Supercross spec exhaust. Now, at the very exit of the can, we have a specific constrictor. Now, in AMA Supercross, your exhaust system has to be 114.9 decibels or less in volume.
It's all mathematics over here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like 114 is not very loud. And the reason that they do that, they have a control limit. It's all about getting the manufacturers and the aftermarket companies to continue making quieter bikes. Every year that decibel limit comes down, either by 0.5 or by 1. I know that by 2026, I heard this, 112. Now the difference, here's the thing about decibels, is that each decibel is a multiplication of the previous decibel. It is not simply plus 1 decibel. So it's not like plus 1 volume. It would be like whenever you're turning a volume knob, every time you turn it up to the next click, it multiplies from the last one. Does not just add 1. So with that, that's the thing that we have to work with Dubach to set these exhausts up to be able to provide power and low decibels.
Why do they want it to be so quiet though? We like loud pipes.
We like loud pipes, but to a certain extent it becomes a nuisance. Yeah, so
and
I mean,
you're losing power, I guess.
well, it's not so much that, it's more so that it is damaging to the ear, even though we like it. Right? Whenever you've got 22 motorcycles on the track at one time.
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whenever you got 22 motorcycles on the track at one time, it adds up. And because, I mean, this is a professional sport, we have to take consideration of the fans. And we don't want motorcycles that are so obnoxiously loud that little Jimmy, Bobby, and Harry are up in the stands, and their mom is like, no, it's too loud. We're never gonna do that.
We never thought about that. That's really cool. You're thinking about the fans too. Y'all are actually thinking about your riders and your fans.
That's
really
exactly
cool.
right.
Like
Yes.
that.
Okay, so then again we've got another XL A60 rim. Now this is what we call a bulldog spoke, but it is not a bulldog spoke nipple. What comes stock OEM is a 6.9 millimeter. And we tune ours for the 6.8. So this is actually a slightly smaller circumference area, but it's a heavier duty steel spoke. Our final drive on this motorcycle is a 1352 for a 4-point. I'm sorry, no, this one is a 1351, which I believe, don't quote my math. Actually, Dave, I'm gonna have you overlay the math on this. Do you know how many times 13 goes into 51?
13 and a 51, maybe like 6 times?
No, not quite.
5 times.
No, we're still going down. Okay, so it's actually more, I'm gonna say 3.9, I'm gonna stick with 3.93 is what I'm going with. But on Jorgen's bike we run a 1352, which is a 4.0 gear ratio. So that's the final drive. You always hear about gearing ratio.
Yeah.
So that's the target for Supercross for most guys is a 4.0 gearing ratio. One of the other things that we do with our motorcycles, which we'll show it on Jorgen's bike, we have not performed it yet here. You notice on the KTM, the rear brake spring is kind of at this odd angle, and it gets it to the point to where you cannot lift this up much higher. Now we've got a good tight feel here for quick braking action, but on the other motorcycle, let's step over there just so we can show you the difference between the two. Come around here so you can see this. On this other motorcycle over here, now this is a factory tech tip that Merrick taught me from MXGP. Instead of routing the brake spring up against the frame, we take a master link, drill it out, and attach it to the clutch cover
make it a
here.
little bit lower here.
Well, the thing that we do is now we run the brake spring straight upward, and it pulls the rear brake lever further up.
Wow.
Now it takes less time for the rear brake to get compressed.
Immediate response. Right?
So, and then he likes to run heat shield on his tank on the inside and out. But again, I mean, that's, you know, both motorcycles for the most part are equipped with all of the same stuff. And then our riders, the ass meets the seat with a guts Velcro system. So these seats are Velcroed on, they're not stapled on.
Nice.
So that's it. Jorgen, I also got him dialed in with my Grand Prix setup of running 3 grip donuts provided by EVS.
So is that just like lucky, or what is this?
No, no. Okay, so the thing is, whenever you move whenever your hands are on the handlebars, okay. So check this out. Notice my hand positioning here as I put my hand up against the inside of the grip, and where my yes, there's that, but see where my finger is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these EVS donuts on. We got 3 of them. That's going to move my hand further out. Okay. And additionally, now we're going to, and AJ Cat always talks about this, the diamond. So now our hands are now rotating inward like this, and where your finger meets, it's a shorter pull.
Yeah.
So it's all set up, it's all
like
strategy, rider preference, that kind of shit.
That's amazing.
Also, very little throttle play.
Wow. I don't know. That'd be like a freaking. I'd loop out on this one real quick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even expect. But there's so much that goes into moto, like these bikes, all the specs, all the things that need to be correctly like put. And you guys know all about it. Have to know all about it. It's really cool.
Well, I mean, we've been doing this for decades now, and between the experience between all of us and having international experience and somebody from, you know, guys from different countries, we've all come in and brought the best of the best from all over the globe, and it's just been a fantastic experience for me. And I'm glad that you're here and we get to walk you around the motorcycle. The last thing that I have to show you, which is funny, it's one of the most important things about the motorcycle, because as we know, the start dictates the race.
Definitely.
So we launch with the Duval X-Shot, which is a whole shot device. Now here's what's really cool about the Duval X-Shot, is it looks like, where's the button? Well, it's actually underneath this rubber sealed boot right here, and the button presses from the top.
Oh wow, yeah, you wouldn't know where it is.
You would never know, exactly. And then this is the catch ring here, but so much as we know, dude, I mean, in any race, whether indoors, outdoors, or woods riding, you're taking roost, rocks, pebbles, stones, whatever. Well, our whole shot button is protected by this little rubber corner.
Yeah, it's roost proof, pretty much.
That's right, yeah.
Awesome.
So we love Duval for engineering that. I mean, they're an engineering firm that, I mean, develops some of the best products. And yeah, give her a push there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So cool. Hey, thanks guys. We appreciate you touring the bike. If you want to join and do what Hunter's doing, or you just want to come and be part of the team, we do need interns. We need people to come to the races. So we're doing 8 more Supercross races from here, and the next one will be Daytona. But Birmingham, we need help. Indianapolis. Hey, Peyton, just wait like 2 seconds, please. Wait like 2 seconds. And Indianapolis, Birmingham, and then we continue in St. Louis, and then finish out the rest of the East Coast, and then we're going to do Denver. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, this is super interesting. You guys come check it out. Thank you for all the help. And I love knowing about this stuff, and it's interesting for riders and people who are just interested in getting a little bit more into moto, you know? Yeah. So thanks.
Hunter, favorite part of the bike?
Okay, favorite part of the bike is going to be the throttle for sure. No, but in general, I don't know. I'm really liking these KTMs. So I'm really just liking how like slim they are. Obviously, I would say, I don't know. I love. There's really not one thing that I can tell you. I love wheels on a bike. I love the pipes. I love the noise. I love the throttle, seat. I'm very, very. I don't know. I love it all. I really can't tell you one thing. So yeah.